What a show we have for you. We're excited to share a show just for you to get your season started right. Here's Mike Malaska, one of the top teachers in the game, and Mike has created a video series for us that's actually featured on golflife.com. Here's the second in that series to help you with your grip. Let's check it out right now.
What week 2 is all about is going to be your grip. Now we've got to get really consistent with how you put your hands on the club, because we want to get consistent with your swing. And we want the weight of the club and the momentum of the club doing a lot of the work for you. So your grip has to be on there the way your body works. And so here's what you're going to do. First, if you just bend from your hips and you let your arms just hang in front of you. Now if you look at my left arm, this is where my left arm hangs, so that's how my joints line up. Now, if I grip the club in what they call a neutral palms opposing grip, here's what's going to happen. When I swing and the club pulls on my arm's going to go right back to where it hangs natural. Now the face is wide open. Then I have to start doing weird stuff with this hand to try to catch the face up. So the first thing with grip, your lead hand goes on the way your arm hangs. So I'm seeing 3 knuckles on my left hand, so there's where my left hand grip's going to be. Now the other thing, the club goes in your fingers. Now I like to say fingertips. This joint right here in your fingers is where the back of the club goes. So the club rests and it rides down here in my fingers. And then my hand folds down and over the club. If that club gets up in the palm of my hand at all, even though my fingers are touching it, what happens is all of a sudden my wrist doesn't work right, and that's going to get in the way of the next week. We won't be able to do what we're trying to do there. So it goes on the way your arm hangs natural, and it goes in your fingers, more in your fingertips. Now your right hand, this hand, if I were to fall to the ground, if you just fell, your wrist, this wrist will line up with the force that's coming at you. So when you hit a golf ball, there's a force coming back through that shaft. So this wrist lines up with the ground. This wrist is now going to line up with that force that's coming back. So this valley fits right on the back of that thumb, and that wrist and that club face are mirror images of each other. Also, this wrist is aimed right straight into that force that's coming back into the shaft. Because here's the role of your right hand. Your right arm is supposed to get on the back of the shaft, stabilize the shaft, and accelerate the club head. You don't want this arm having to twist. So if we get your left hand on there correctly, the face will square itself, which then allows us to use your right hand correctly to stabilize the shaft and accelerate the club, which is going to play into what we're going to do on our next week. So the first thing now we're going to do is we got to get your grip. Now once your grip's on there, here's what you're going to then duplicate. We're going to go with that grip, we're going to go back to these balls, and we're going to hit some hooks, and we're going to hit some fades, and we're going to hit them low, high, at probably low speeds. You can try with your driver if you want. You can do any club you want. So in review, left hand goes on there the way your arm hangs natural, and it goes in your fingers. It cannot get in the palm of your hand. If it gets in the palm of your hand, you lose the angles in your wrists. So that's a lever. There's very few players who've played with no lever in their wrists and played very well. So goes how your arm hangs in your fingers. Right hand comes in because this hand is like you fall to the ground. Only now it's going to brace yourself against the impact of the ground with the club. So now your right arm can do this and accelerate the club. You have a club at your office, you have a club at home. Every time you walk past the club, you pick it up, make sure you've got the club in the right place in your hands, get your grip set up, you go, okay, got it. Set the club down and start over again. Now here's what's interesting. I've been playing this game for 50 some odd years. I come out every morning and set my video system up to give lessons. I hit a few balls. The first thing I do, I check and make sure my grip's correct. Now here's what's interesting. Some days when I put my hands on there correctly, for me it feels great. Other days it doesn't feel so good. What I don't do is conform to what feels good. I stay with what I know is correct. And so you want to be consistent. You have to stay consistent even if the feel changes a little bit. You got to get to the point when you take a hold of a club that the club goes in this lead hand the way your arm hangs natural and in your fingers. Then this folds down and over, and then your right hand comes in. This wrist and this valley fit right on the back of that thumb, and now my right wrist and the club face are mirror images of each other, and they're aimed at the target. So there's my grip. So now work really hard on week 2 with what we talked about, and then you'll be ready for what we're going to start with on week 3.
To watch Mike's complete series, visit golflife.com right now. Also, you can get a ton of instruction from Mike Malaska at malaskagolf.com, and if you use the code GOLFLIFE, you'll receive a 20% discount on Mike's membership. Now let's head to Moon Valley Golf Club in Phoenix, Arizona. This golf club is the perfect place to ride a fat caddy from home to the course. We took out 2 fivesomes to see if golfers play faster and better.
Get to test drive these bad boys. I feel like a little kid. I really do.
My fat scooter is great. I love it. Makes for a fun round of golf.
The Fat Five was great today. I mean, we got to sneak one extra person into what would normally be a foursome.
Oh, I think it's great. The more people in your group, the better. It's always more fun.
Felt like it went really quick.
It was about a normal speed for 4 guys, and 5 of us were playing.
You would think with 5 people it'd be a lot slower, but it's convenient. You can drive up to every shot.
It was fun and fast, and I like that.
Definitely helped with the pace of play. I was able to go to my own ball, rest for a second and focus and dial in and make sure I hit a good shot.
Because you get time to kind of concentrate on your play, where you're going to hit it. You're not stressed out because you're holding the other guys up.
The speed goes, it's easy to bounce. They're cool. I love them.
And then you still have time to like chit chat on the tee box and like drive next to each other. It was pretty rad.
Come on down. Come on. Oh, look at this. That was fun. Good bunch of guys, and we had a fun time out here.
I had a great time. Got to hang out with some great people. Got a good round of golf in. Had a fantastic course. I think the Fat Five is fun.
Whether it's on the course or through the neighborhood, and I highly recommend them.
You can run around the neighborhood, go to the store.
Using it on the golf course is a bonus. It's a lot less arduous than getting into a car, and obviously better for the environment.
Golf Life is giving away a Masters golf bag this month, along with our friends at golfdealsandsteals.com. If you want to get the best golf gear at amazing prices, featuring the best from TaylorMade, visit golfdealsandsteals.com. Head to golflife.com right now for your chance at this awesome Masters golf bag.
Here's a special offer from Golf Life. Would you like to try the Claw Glove and save 20%? Plus get free shipping? Head over to clawglove.com and use the code GOLFLIFE right now. You'll save 20% and get free shipping.
When Golf Life returns, we gain some wisdom from legendary golf icon Dave Pelz from his home studio outside Austin, Texas.
Wouldn't you love to walk the course free from a bag, enjoying your time playing golf? Free yourself with the power of Bat Caddy, the electric golf caddy. Did you know people who walk with an electric golf caddy perform at a higher level, play better, and are more focused? Medical studies prove it. Visit batcaddy.com and learn the complete benefits. You'll play the game as it was meant to be enjoyed. So get active, get walking, and get yourself a Bat Caddy at batcaddy.com.
Golfers, do you suffer from constantly buying new golf gloves?
All the time.
Does your golf glove get sweaty, crusty, or torn?
Over and over again.
The innovative new Claw Glove might be for you. With multiple styles for men and women, the Claw will outlast, play cooler, and grip better than traditional leather gloves. Use code TVOFFER and save 20%.
Side effects may include more greens hit and in some cases, shooting your lowest round.
I have the power to lower my score with Claw Glove.
Save 20% today with code TVOFFER at clawglove.com.
Let's head to Austin, Texas, and the home of legendary golf teacher Dave Pelz.
I've
lived on golf courses all my life, and my son who built this backyard said, you're no longer living on a golf course, you're living on golf. It is the greatest thing in the world to get up in the morning and come out here and have coffee. I mean, without even having a golf club. I can putt in my backyard in my greens with my skivvies on. I don't have to dress for anybody.
It's been one of the joys of my working life with my father to see this dream come true for him. Not many people would have the vision to design this, and then to do it tested another level of gutsiness.
If I had known how great this was, this life living on golf, it's very, very different than living on a golf course. Any guy that's really a golfer at heart would love to have golf in their backyard. Live on golf. Get as close to it as you can. It's a perfect place to live if you're a golfer.
Mr. Dave Pelz joins us, the short game guru. What is the hardest part of the short game to teach?
To teach. I really believe, I think, if you talk about the best players in the world, there is no difficult part of it to teach, because the best players in the world understand the game. They've tried to develop their own game for long periods of time. They are sincere about it. They're willing to practice it. They're willing to change. They understand that to improve, you must change. You can't just do the same thing over and over again and hope for a different result. That's crazy. So pros, for me, the hardest thing is to get them to truly understand where they're weak under pressure. But under pressure for the big tournaments, and we talk about that and we review that and we really work on that to find out what they can improve to improve their games. Finding out what to work on is the hardest with a pro, because they all think they know their game, and I'm here to tell you they don't all know their game, because their ego is involved in it. And it's good. If you don't have confidence, you can't play at the highest levels. But now go to the other end of the spectrum, and when we're talking about amateurs, I have to be extremely careful with amateurs, because some of them don't understand the game well enough. I think the hardest part of the game is teaching the understanding that a player needs to have in order to improve. I mean, if you understand what you're trying to improve and how you're going to improve it, if you understand the fundamental mechanics that you have to change or things you have to do, that makes almost any part of the short game pretty easy. I mean, teaching short game is not like teaching a 300-yard drive. You have to be an athlete, you have to be in good condition, you have to do a lot of things right to get a ball to go 300 yards straight. Very much easier to putt. I mean, a 3-foot putt, you should really never miss. Same thing with the wedges. A lot of golfers do hit wedge shots fat, but they shouldn't. It's such an easy swing. If they knew where to put the ball, if they knew the mechanics of what they should be doing. The hardest thing to teach in the short game and putting depends on your handicap, depends on your game, depends on the player and how he or she relates to your teaching. And that's the mark of a good teacher. If they can teach all kinds of, some people learn better through listening, and some people learn better through seeing examples. See it 10 times, they can do it. You try not to change so much, you try to refine and perfect. And golf is a game of not perfect, but you want to get as close to it as you can.
Well, if you head to Pelz Schools, you'll probably get some pretty good knowledge. And if you come back, you'll get great stuff from us. Thank you.
Up next on Golf Life, we're joined by Michael Breed for a lesson on impact. And we head to the LEADBETTER Golf Academy with Brett and Cassandra Meyer.
Golf gloves have been around for over a century, but they never seem to stand the test of time. It's time to stop playing short-lived, frail, crusty leather gloves and start playing with game-changing claw golf gloves. Exclusive silicone palm provides consistent grip that never blackens, hardens, or tears. Breathable mesh promotes outstanding airflow, keeping hands cool and sweat-free. Add in being machine washable, the claw delivers more rounds than typical stale old leather gloves. Golfers, it's time to expect more from your golf glove.
Are you looking for a golf simulator for your home or office? Golf Life partners with the Indoor Golf Shop for our golf studio and training center simulators. Indoor Golf Shop provides options for any type of golf installation, featuring launch monitors from SkyTrack, Unicore, and FlightScope. Gain expertise to choose the perfect simulation installation. Visit shopindoorgolf.com and use the code GOLFLIFE to save on your purchase. Head over to shopindoorgolf.com.
Golf Life is making the turn to the back nine in a moment.
Let's head inside Michael Breed's golf studio for an impact drill you're going to love.
This drill is, I'm telling you, my favorite because it solves so many different problems. So I videotaped a swing, and what I want you to pay attention to here is where this ball position is. Now, this ball position is clearly outside of my lead foot. And the reason for that is that I'm trying to invite a forward movement of the body, a carrying of the angle between the arm and the club shaft, a maintaining of that angle and incorporating that or marrying that with a body rotation. And so what happens when you do this drill is, in order for you to hit the ball solidly, you got to do so many things properly. And what it does too is it gets your body weight forward towards the target so that you finish in a nice balanced position. So we'll take this up to the top of the swing. So I'm up here. Let's go back just a little bit. There you go. So there's the back of my head at the top of the swing. Now, and I'm going to draw a line right up on the top here. Okay? Now watch what happens when this moves forward. The body is going forward and down. So many of you are coming out of the shot. So many of you are losing that spine angle. You're coming into the ball. The hips are working underneath the shoulders. This will take care of that for you. This is one of the reasons why I love this drill. Now watch how I continue to drop down. You can see the lead shoulder is low and now moving around. See how it's moving around there? So the body is opening. I'm still getting the head to drop down. Look at how much I've moved forward and down. One of the really important parts of being a great iron player is not hanging back, but actually going forward and down. So now I come into this shot. Look at the angle retention between the forearm and the club shaft. Fantastic right there. I'm going to erase all that. Hands are now outside or almost outside of the shoulder and the thigh. This would be typically a 6-iron is going to be just slightly forward of center. Look at how much shaft lean that I'm going to have in that shaft right there. Look at that. That's an inordinate amount of shaft lean. Now, obviously, we don't want that much, but for those of you that are getting rid of that energy too soon, this is a wonderful drill for that. Now, at the strike, the shaft of the golf club is outside of the hip. The body has moved forward. So here's where I am. I'm just going to draw a line there and there. That's where I am at impact. Here's where I am at the top of the swing. So the head is now forward and down. I'm telling you, this one here is going to improve your game.
Now we take you to the LEADBETTER Golf Academy, where Brett and Cassandra Meyer show us how to create a big coil in your golf swing.
All right, one of the foundations of the golf swing is how the body and your big muscles move. So go ahead, Cassandra, and get into what I call a pivot piston drill, right? No club necessary, something that you can do in the office, in the gym. Certainly have a mirror so you can kind of give yourself that feeling of feel and real. But notice she's in a driver setup here, ball position forward, feet at about driver width, a bit of spine tilt to the right as she sets up here. But as she starts winding up, and I'm just gonna push her left shoulder down, and then notice as her left shoulder goes down, the right shoulder goes up. Just maintain a little bit of flex in that right knee. Keep your weight on the inside of that foot. But you can notice the big coil and wind up and stretch she has as she gets to what would be the top of her swing here, right? So from that point, and we always have a ball or a coin or a tee down so you can focus on it. So from this point here, 1, 2, 3, unwind. So just very basic, but my goodness, the ability to feel that stretch and that height in that coil, those big muscles involved, very important, because you have to you have to feel this to even have a thought of actually doing it in the golf swing, right? So do the same thing there, Cassandra, and then just stop at what would be the top of your backswing. Now go ahead and make a grip. So as she gets to that position, you feel that kind of long stretch in your right side there. So that's effectively what you would want to feel, right? Notice she didn't move off the ball. And if there's a wall there from her right side on up, she didn't sway off the ball. It all stayed within herself, but really got those muscles wound up, right? And just go ahead and just make a soft practice swing. Just clip that tee. You just want to build up the feel. So we went pivot drill. Now we're adding a club to get that height, and then just go ahead and just clip a tee. All right, let's go ahead and hit one. And just feel your stretch and your height and give it a rip. Good swing, babe. So that's a very simple pivot drill that you all can work on at home, in the office, in the gym, right? Doesn't matter, you can just feel that height, that stretch, and that coil at the top of your swing, add a club to the equation, and I think it'll really help as far as using your body and generating some more power.
Boy, I hope you're enjoying the show. We've got a lot more instruction coming your way up next. But first, why don't you head over to golflife.com. We're giving away a master's bag. It's a tailor-made staff bag. It's very cool. Head over to golflife.com, get registered, and you'll also be registered to have access to our entire video library of instructional tips at golflife.com.
Stick around. Alyssa Ksar visits top golf teacher Tina Toombs at the Arizona Biltmore Resort and Golf Club.
Wouldn't you love to walk the course free from a bag, enjoying your time playing golf? Free yourself with the power of BATCADDY, the electric golf caddy. Did you know people who walk with an electric golf caddy perform at a higher level, play better, and are more focused? Medical studies prove it. Visit BATCADDY.com and learn the complete benefits. You'll play the game as it was meant to be enjoyed. So get active, get walking, and get yourself a BATCADDY at BATCADDY.com.
Welcome back to Golf Life. Now here's another great golf lesson from one of the great teachers out there, Tina Toombs, from down at the Arizona Biltmore Golf Club. We sent Alyssa Ksar down there to be her student. Let's enjoy this now.
Tina, we have a beautiful day. How's everything going?
Everything's going great, Alyssa, and it's great to have you here. Watched you hit a few shots before we started, and I really have a good feel for what you're doing, and I'm looking forward to get you on this pressure mat so we can get you some better strikes.
Let's get started.
So, Alyssa, this V1 pressure mat is really to show us the traces in your feet. It's going to tell us what you're doing from the ground up, okay? Golf swings are really dynamic. They give us a lot of energy and a lot of power from the ground up. So we're going to really take a look at what you're doing, watch a few swings, see what's happening with your feet, and then what's happening through your body and out through the golf club to the ball. Okay?
All right.
So just go ahead and swing, have some fun. If we go and look at your video, this is really actually very, very good. Can you see this is darker?
Yes.
On the pressure right here. So that's telling us that you're in your heels.
Okay.
Head set up.
Okay.
Okay, so with an 8-iron, I mean, the pressure on your left side is good. Like when we set up for a short iron, we want to be 55 left, 45 right, pressure-wise, how we're pressuring our feet.
All right.
But you're in your heels. So to be dynamic, we want to be more in the balls of our feet. So the trace always determines and always shows what the path of the club is going to be. They always match.
Okay.
So I say subconsciously, if the face is open, the path is left.
Okay.
Okay, so I want to fix your grip first, and I want to fix your setup and give you some foot flare so we can get that right hip to pivot better so you have more room on the takeaway. When I first saw her, her left-hand grip was weak. It was more to the left. She had no foot flare. Her stance was pretty narrow, and the face was, you know, her right hip was going high. So she was getting, because her arms are so long, she was getting her right hip high and the club outside, and she had no room. So the face was open, and then she was coming across it and trying to get out of the way. She's a great athlete, so she was trying to figure out what to do to hit the ball solid and straight. So I put a force pedal under the ball of her left foot, and I put this blackboard, which I use for her right foot, so she can feel herself, you know, moving into her right side, and she's feeling the ground ground, as she's moving into the right side, she's also pushing into the ground. So she was learning how to push into the ground so she could load into the ground and the ground could push back as she's rotating. Well, I think a lot of, women are taught not to use the ground, not to brush the, take a divot, and are not really taught to hit the ball very hard. And I disagree with that, and I think we need to empower women. Get some dirt on the club face and hit it hard, and teach them how to throw balls and teach them how to use the ground, and just give them knowledge so they have more tools in their toolbox. Some of them are afraid to hit the ground because they've been told to keep their head down and their left arm straight. So, when we get that motion or thought process out of their heads and they start using the ground, then so we're pushing and pulling versus staying down and pulling the arms up. We're doing the opposite, and now everything shallows itself out in nice little divots. Okay?
Okay. So that miss is okay is what you're telling me right
Yeah, because you're still kind of swaying. But you notice that the ball's not going right anymore.
Right.
The ball flew 10 yards further.
Okay.
Path is 0.
Okay.
Face is closed 8 degrees. Hey, look at that. Look at that. She just hit a drop.
Yeah, I was going to say, the wind knocked it down a little bit, but...
What's great about this pressure mat is it just gives you immediate feedback, right? The numbers don't lie, and then you can make changes so fast, right? So you're not wasting your time out here.
Yeah.
So if you can get a pressure mat or get on a pressure mat to make your changes, it's going to be a lot more efficient, much quicker, and you're going to see your golf swing change, that much faster.
Yeah,
immediately.
Thanks for watching Golf Life. Be sure to visit us at golflife.com for more golf content, and check us out on social media for daily videos and reviews, and we'll see you next round.